There it is. Episode 10. 10 episodes in. Clister Smith. What a great guest for the 10th episode. Welcome, brother. Thanks for doing this.
How y'all doing? No problem. No problem. Thanks for having me.
So, Clister, the first thing that we'd like to do is put you on the spot and ask who was your crush on? Who did you have the biggest crush on in high school?
The biggest crush. So everyone pretty much. No.
Just trying to take people out of the
list. No, I had a girlfriend all throughout high school, so it was kind of, I wouldn't say I had a crush, but two come to mind, probably Maria Bro and then Gina Tran.
Oh, wow. Look at that. All right. Those are surprising.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just didn't like Maria Brow was like a skater girl. I just couldn't. Wasn't she? I just didn't think that you would.
No, I don't think she was a skater girl. She was just, to be honest, it was really just her personality. They were hella cool. I sat next to Gina Tran in Mr. Edmonds' class. I forgot, it was either U.S. government or something. She was like just always real sweet to me. It was more of that factor. And then Maria, we were just always hella cool. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Easy on the eyes too.
Yeah,
if I may say so.
Yeah, for sure. But I always had a girlfriend, so it wasn't like you know what I mean? I think I had a girlfriend from sophomore to after high school, so
yeah.
Different. What are you gonna say?
So now you have to catch everybody up. I know your story, but everybody else needs to be caught up. Since you graduated to now, the last 20 years, your little journey.
Last 20 years. So it's kind of crazy because we kind of did a catch up a couple months ago when we had that little thing at Aaron's house. And it was interesting. I was thinking about that when coming on here, is everybody there was saying I was a bully in high school, which I had no recollection of. And to be honest, it's like at least I think I'm so far away from that. And now in my present life, when I was about 21, I got saved, became a Christian, started walking with the Lord, and totally changed my life. So I feel like people who knew me in high school probably wouldn't really or probably don't perceive me as the same or who I am today. You know what I mean? I'm totally different, but you know, just a man of God, family man, and do tattoos, and that's pretty much it. I started a tattoo shop in 8 years ago, so I've been doing that, just grinding, doing that, and really it's just working and being at home with my family. I'm married. I got one daughter and another daughter on the way. So
congrats.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you.
So about the bullying part, I brought this up at that get together. I gotta say it for everybody, so that everybody knows my story with Clister bullying. But right before freshman year, so I moved back to San Diego right before freshman year, and Jacqueline and I had known each other in elementary school, and we'd always had crushes on each other or whatever. And then we came across each other just before high school started, and I was trying to make my move with Jacqueline, and I think we were at Mission Valley Mall, and the first time I met you, Clister, was when we bumped into you in Mission Valley Mall with you and a couple of buddies. And it was me, Jacqueline, Dominique, maybe Pauline was there, but it was me and Carlos. And I think Carlos was trying to talk to Dominique, and I was trying to talk to Jacqueline. And you and your crew were trying to intercept that process. And we had to navigate that with you. I remember.
You were with Garen. You were with Carlos. You were with Garen.
Garen, you're right. It was Garen. That's right. Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah. So that's my Clister bullying story. But then we played football together in freshman year, or not freshman year. We ended up playing together in high school or sophomore year. Became really good friends. But yeah, that was my story with you.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't know how many people who know in high school, but I had just moved to Claremont in my 8th grade year. So I was at Marston for 6 months, and then I went to Madison. So it was like Claremont was a culture shock for me. You know what I mean? So like I would leave every weekend and go back to East Dago where I grew up, and I would hang out with my friends from there. And Mission Valley was the spot. So I was with the gang of my homies from East Dago who were all pretty hood. We were all pretty hood back in the day. So I could understand why that might have been intimidating at the time, but I don't honestly I didn't perceive that as bullying. I don't know
Fair
what
competition.
yeah, you know what I mean. That's all fair game. Yeah, so
Kind of like if you're new to prison, you have to like stab somebody just so you get that reputation started and they don't mess with you.
yeah, kind of like that.
No, but what was funny about that is even though it started off weird, Clister, you were like, I remember we were all sitting down together talking, and you were actually being really cool about everything. But that was my first Clister experience. And I think it's things like that probably made people think those things about you.
I think it's my exterior because I remember David Lee said that about me too. And I was like, I just got that resting bitch face for a man or whatever. So people always think I'm mad for whatever reason, but it's like it's just how I look. You know what I mean? I'm a bigger
It's
dude.
not only that, Clister. You make jokes, and sometimes those jokes hurt people's feelings.
Yeah. I would agree with that too. And so let me give an excuse for that too. So growing up, me and my siblings, that's what we do. That's how we show our love. We just clown each other, and like we're mean to each other, and it's we never even really skip a beat. That's just how it is. And then I feel like at Madison, with all the usually just more of the black crowd, that's what we did too. I don't know if you guys used to remember we used to run around with the video camera during lunch, and Maurice looked like hits from the street, and he would play hits from the street, and we would just clown people, and it was just all fun and games, you know what I mean? But I could understand, especially now being older and in hindsight, seeing how some people don't like that, because I've gotten into trouble making fun of people, you know what I mean, where I shouldn't have, but it's just my nature. Like especially having a name like Clister, like I'm always on guard. Like somebody's ready to make fun of my name or something, and I have to be quick to come back with it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Hey,
I have to find.
Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I get it because I've had to watch myself with like my wife even like when we were dating, I was like super like on my best behavior, but then once we got comfortable, like I do that where like I'll just like push her buttons and like just be super sarcastic and hassle her all the time. And she thinks I'm being mean sometimes if she's not ready for it. But yeah, it's hard if people don't understand like that you're just messing around and being sarcastic. Like they'll take it personally. But you're just like I do that with people that I'm close to and that I like. But if it's someone I don't like, then I don't even take the time to like insult them. But if it's someone I like, then I'll insult them. But it's like just it's more like affection than it is like actually trying to.
Yeah, I do that with my wife all the time, and she was like, I'm like, she's 7 months pregnant right now, and so like this morning I was doing it. I was just messing with her. I forgot what I said. Our anniversary is coming up, and I was saying something like I forgot what I was saying, but she was just like, "Look, I'm not in the mood." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, all right. But usually, like she'll, sometimes she's in the mood and she'll play along. Sometimes she's not in the mood, and when she gets upset about it, I'm like, "Look, I'm the same all the time. It's your mood that changes, not me." So you know what I mean? It's not my fault. So
Those are dangerous words.
yeah. I kind of know how to roll with the punches though with my wife. I know where the line is to kind of stop, but yeah.
Question for you, Clister. If you had to pick anybody to do a rap duet with in a talent show, who would you pick?
That would be Marty. Marty, yeah, we did it. He was singing. You remember your chorus? He was the R&B chorus. You remember that?
Yeah. That I still like cringe when I think about that, man. I remember I in ASB, people clown me so hard for so long.
Hey Marty, do you remember wanting to do La Bamba in the talent show with me?
I did.
Yeah, you were gonna sing it and I was gonna play guitar, but like we didn't like organize it at all. And then we realized like the day before we had to audition for it, we're like, nope.
Oh, that would have been great, man. That was another good idea. I'm just glad we did it, Clister. I'm glad that we got up there and pulled it off.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it was fun. I actually, for a little time after, after I became a Christian, I started doing Christian hip hop. So I did 2 albums.
I remember.
Yeah, probably about, I want to say it came out like 10 years ago, but just a fun little tidbit. If you have Apple Music, you can listen to some of my music. So that actually blossomed into something, but I don't really do it anymore. But yeah.
Nice. That's sick. What are the names of the albums?
Beauty and Pain. It's the same as my tattoo shop, and then the first album was called Directions to Real, but it's my regular name, Clister. If you type in Clister, I'll pop up.
All right, cool.
Hey Clister, can I'm coming out there in August. Can I schedule some time to get a tattoo from you?
Yeah, sure. Just you can text me, and then that's probably the best way because sometimes I'm tattooing and I can't answer my phone. But yeah, you can text me and then we can set it up for sure.
Wait, Marty said he'll go with me to get a tattoo as well.
I will.
All right, we got to get Marty to get some too.
Yeah, I'm thinking something on my lower back.
He's already done several of mine and my husband's as well.
Oh, cool.
I follow Clister on Instagram and Facebook. I see all the work he posts.
Hey, is your Instagram, is your username, is that
My username for tattoos would be Clist, CLIS, and then the number 1, and then tattoos.
Okay.
Yeah. Clist, who was out of the did you play football freshman year?
Yes.
Out of all the coaches, all 4 years, who is your favorite coach, head coach?
Coach Root, hands down.
Yeah, me too.
He was. I'm sad he was only there for a year. But yeah, he was probably the coolest one. It's sad because I coached football a couple of years too, and I think back about the experience, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences is actually coaching. Like I thought prior to coaching, I thought that coaching wouldn't be as fun, but because I wasn't playing, but it was just as much fun almost as playing. And I think about my coach's experiences, and I was like, a lot of those dudes. Actually, Coach Jackson was really good too. Coach Jackson was a great coach, but no, he was a defensive coach. But he came our senior year, so we didn't get as much time with him. But I just feel like a lot of those coaches missed out on a good opportunity to pour into kids because I feel like I didn't really see that in our football teams, like coaches really pouring into the kids and not just about, X's and O's, but about being a man. I don't feel like a lot of our coaches took advantage of that. And it was cool being on the other side of it and seeing coaches who really did that. You know what I mean? I feel like Coach Jackson does that now or whatever. I think it was his first year coaching, or I don't know what it was, but Coach Jackson is a good coach. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but I'm just saying like I didn't receive that my 4 years, you know what I'm saying, coaching. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Coach Jackson was an amazing coach.
Yeah, he was a
that
good
question
coach.
Was head coach, so we're not insulting him. It was favorite head coach. So
yeah.
He's head coach of the program now, and I went to a Charger game, just randomly went to a Charger game like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I'm watching the game, and at halftime, they announced Coach of the Year, and it's Coach Jackson.
Yeah. I was at a game one time, and I was right behind the Chargers bench, like on the sideline, And Coach Jackson used to do the I don't know if you know, like in between plays, the quarterbacks get a folder of still shots of the defense.
Yeah.
And Coach Jackson would do that for the Chargers. He would take the still shots, put them in a folder, and give them to the quarterback. So he was like working the sideline. He
Wow.
did that for a couple of years. Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry for the sidetrack, Clister. Can you give us a tour of the shop?
For the shop. All right. So it's a small shop and we share it with the barber shop. The front is the barber shop, and then the back part is us. This is like the drawing area, you know. It's not super, decorated or anything like that. Beauty and pain. Beauty and pain is kind of like the mantra for my life. So that's kind of why I named it that. But this is my area where I tattoo at. See, I'm set up for my tattoo. They're coming in after we're done with this. But yeah, here's some of my artwork. Can you see that? Hold on.
Yeah.
There you go. Little roses that I've drawn. And then some more artwork. Deadpool. And then here's the second room of the shop. This is we have one artist right now, but I had two. I lost one because of COVID. He decided to tattoo at home. But yeah, it's small, but it works, man. Overhead's low, so
Yeah.
it's been good. Yeah.
Didn't you say you're gonna make this your full time?
Yeah. So I've been doing double duty for since I opened the shop. I've worked for the school district I work with kids with autism. So I'm like kind of like a one-on-one support for behaviors. And it's a cool job, but it's just time for me to dip because, my heart's here. And I really stayed this long because of the insurance. I get my health insurance from them, but I'm about to get on my wife's and we'll just pay for insurance. So I'm gonna quit after this next baby. So I'm probably about a couple months. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been pretty good.
Because you were doing that since high school, man. I was talking to you last about your first machine. It was made out of a VCR, right?
No, it was made out of a Walkman motor and a spoon, and then the needle was a guitar string. And yeah, there's a handful of Madison alum who have some authentic Clister original tattoos. I'm sure it's not their favorite piece, but yeah, I kind of didn't really know what I was doing back then, but I got my head on straight now. So yeah.
Where did you get? I mean, is this all self-taught?
For the most part, yeah. So I just always was good at drawing, and my older brother wanted a tattoo, so we made a machine at my house, and I tattooed him. I was like 14, I think I did my first one, and then I didn't really care for it that much, but I was like, oh, I can make money doing this, and I had a client the next day who wanted to give me $20 for a tattoo, so I was like, that's what sparked the interest. And then later on in life, I was watching a tattoo show. That's what I was doing. I was watching New York Ink. I was like, man, I could do this. Let me try again. And my roommate was willing to be the guinea pig, so I started tattooing him. And the same thing, I had a client the next day who wanted to pay me for a tattoo, and I just got passionate about it. And yeah, it's pretty much self-taught for the most part. A lot of YouTube, a lot of that. And then once I kind of got the ball rolling, David Lee, he went to Madison as well. He helped me a little bit too along the way. So yeah, for the most part, self-taught though. Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. Good job, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure that out. I use YouTube videos to help me like figure out how to stain a tabletop, and I barely do that right.
You know what? There is so much free game on YouTube, and I feel like people don't take enough advantage of it. Like, I've learned so much different things on YouTube. Like, I mean, I built a whole career off of learning how to tattoo on YouTube for the most part, but everything, I mean, the stock market, I got into the stock market based upon videos I learned in YouTube and all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? So lots of free game, take advantage.
What stock should we be buying?
So what I believe, and one again, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I would say is that in 5 to 10 years, a good percentage of the cars on the road, I would say over 50% of the cars on the road are going to be electric vehicles. So now is the time to get into that market as far as like electric charging stations, like the infrastructure. Like you think about gas stations and how many gas stations are around, there's going to be that many charging stations. You can already see it now. Like if you go to the mall, you're going to see charging stations, and it's just that we're on the cusp, the beginning of that. So I feel like the electric vehicle market is about to explode. And if you notice on TV, every car manufacturer is coming out with some sort of electric vehicle. You know what I mean? Because that's the future. And now is the time to invest in electric vehicles and the infrastructure. So one that I really like right now is called NIO, N-I-O. That's the largest electric car company in China. It's supposed to be the Tesla of China. That's where I have the majority of my money. And then infrastructure like a charge point and what else do I have in Blink? So those things. But again, you know, invest at your own risk, because as much money as you can make is you can lose it too. So
Yep. You're not worried about like the regulations that US and China are putting on each other to prevent?
no, because at the end of the day, the U.S. needs China. You know what I mean? And I think China needs the U.S. So they all work together. It's all. I think a lot of that stuff is smoke screens. You know what I mean? And different things. But as far as like you know, we get most of our goods from China. China, you know, we're in debt to China. So I don't think our relationship with China is ever going to dissolve. You know?
So one of the other questions we ask people, Clister, is to bring up a most embarrassing moment from high school.
Most embarrassing moment. That's hard. The most embarrassing moment. To be honest, I can't, nothing jumps to mind. I didn't really get embarrassed that easily. Oh, I got one. So one time while I was playing we were playing baseball. I hit a triple, and I was running to third, and I tried to slide for third, but I like hit the ground. It didn't go anywhere, and the whole team was laughing. So the school wasn't there, but the team from Madison was there, and you know I had a face full of dirt, and it was kind of funny. And they still make fun of me about that, but that's pretty much it. As far as like super embarrassing moments, I don't really have a whole lot other than that. Coming from you guys, I was probably the one doing the making fun of people and embarrassing people. So I was probably on the other end of that, huh? What about you, Matt? Did you see me as a bully in high school?
I don't know. I didn't like really interact with you much, but I think like just pretty much you and like anyone on the football team, depending on the group, like it was just more intimidating to me. Because I wasn't it's like one of those, I don't know. I guess like a lot of people like might have known that I like existed, but like I didn't really like hang out with like that many people outside of school. But
yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of viewed like you and Marty and all of them like as kind of like the cool guys of the school. I was kind of like a whole different crowd. I was more like, besides like I guess senior year I got a little more like social, but first 2 years of high school, like I spent all my lunches in Mr. Freeberg's room with like guys that did dirt bike stuff, even though I've never ridden a dirt bike, but I just like knew I was just like friends with him from middle school. So I would just like sit in his class like all lunch, and like I was pretty antisocial. So
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it's funny because we were at that party and it feels like everybody had a story about me, and I was like, damn, I must have been really an asshole in high school. So if anybody is watching this from high school that I was mean to, I apologize, and I'm a new person, and I'm not like that anymore. I swear. So,
How did you
go ahead, Mike.
what's up?
how did you go the route of getting saved and finding Christianity? I never asked you that.
So I was raised a Christian for the most part, but I didn't care for it. My mom made me go to church, and then I was going through like a rough time. I had just broken up with my girlfriend who I was with for like almost 4 years, and then some dude who I beat up in high school, who I'm not gonna say any names, but he tried to shoot me, and yeah, so I was thinking after that situation, I was thinking about that, knowing what my mother had already instilled in me about heaven and hell. And I thought, like, if I would have died that day, would I go to heaven or would I have gone to hell? And thinking about that, I knew that if I would have died that day, that I would have gone to hell. And that's not a place I wanted to go. So it sparked the interest. And then in that whole kind of time frame, I had a friend. Her name was Rachel Bunny. She went to Claremont High School. She used to come into my job, and she was actually friends with my ex-girlfriend. That's how I knew her. But she would come to my job, and we would talk, and it was purely just friendship type thing. And she was a Christian, and I knew she went to church and all that. And to be honest, I invited myself to church because she had a lot of homegirls, and I just wanted to get in where I fit in. So I was like, hey, I'll go to church with you, you know what I mean? And so, but when I went to church, I just felt the Holy Spirit talking to me, like, the sermon felt like it was directed at me. And it was enough to keep me going, and, haven't looked back since. And, I just feel like it, God has totally changed my life and the person that I am. And I feel like it's good talking about high school because in those days I was a different person, and now I'm not. And looking back, it's cool to see the contrast for me anyway. I don't know if anybody else will ever see it, but for me it is. You know what I mean?
Well, Clister, I always thought you were a good person. That's not an exaggeration. Outside of when you tried to
I appreciate that, G.
Clister, I want to give you your flowers too, because I know the life that you've been dealt, and you've handled it with grace, and I respect you a lot.
Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
So Clister owns a business, owns a bunch of EV stock. It's got a kid with a kid on the way. House in Chula Vista, right?
Yeah, I live in Chula Vista now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? What am I missing, Jacqueline and Matt?
Well, I would be interested to hear from Clister to see, so like kind of having that experience of like who you were before, because I grew up like as in the church and as a Christian, and then like I walked away from it for about, I don't know, 7 years when I moved to Los Angeles, and then like moved out to Arizona, and kind of it was a different experience, not necessarily like worrying about like heaven and hell as much, but just kind of like the kind of life I wanted to have and like the kind of person I wanted to be. So, but what would you say, just kind of your overall hardest kind of like, I guess becoming a Christian, what's your hardest like struggle that you've had just like trying to like make that transition from being one type of person to another?
I think my hardest struggle, day-to-day struggle would probably be like, and this would be Christianese, I don't know, but like just being a man and, you know, having those same, you know, desires as far as like lust, as far as like anger, as far as like pride, as far as like, you know, the lust of the world. Like those are my biggest struggles. And I think those are gonna always be there as far as that. But it's more so, I would say this is, for me, it wasn't so much the struggles because those are expected. What wasn't expected, at least in hindsight and stepping into this, was the, you know, the heart change. You know what I mean? The compassion, the the mindset and paradigm shift of, you know, the things that I cared about. You know what I mean? And what I care about now. And um I really feel like the Holy Spirit changed me as a person for the better. So the struggles are definitely hard. They're definitely difficult. Like you know, I have eyes. I'm a man. You know what I mean. I'm always gonna lust and things like that, and that's a daily battle and something that I pray about. Like I am a man. Like if somebody disrespects me, you know, I have that pride still. You know what I mean. Like I still get the urge to beat people up sometimes. You know what I mean. But that's never gonna go away. That's something I gotta pray about. But me, I like just being able to pray, you know what I mean, and have confidence in my prayers that, you know, the creator of the universe is hearing my prayers. I feel like that benefit far outweighs my struggles, you know what I'm saying? So
Wise words, Clister.
thank you. Appreciate that.
How far is your commute to the shop?
It's only like 10 minutes. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Do you mind do you mind just plugging like the location of your shop? I don't want a bunch of weirdos to show up, but
Yeah,
She's
sure.
cool.
No worries.
I can put links to all this stuff when I post it.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you text it to me or send it to Marty or
Yeah. Yeah. No worries. I'll send it. I don't have your number, Matt, but I'll send it over to Marty.
Clister, what is your rate for tattoos? What do you charge per hour?
I don't typically charge. I charge by the piece. Like as far as flat rates, like if it's a bigger piece, like I'm working on a sleeve or something that's going to take, you know, multiple sessions, I do session rates. A half day, which is 4 hours, would be 600, and then a full day, which is 8 hours, would be 1,000. And then if it's something I could get done in less than amount of time, then I just give a flat rate.
Somebody can sit in a chair for 8 hours getting tattooed?
Yes, quite frequently.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
but there's got to be breaks. Like they have to get
Yeah,
up or like
you take little breaks here and there, but it's like 5-minute breaks here and there, but it's not like, you know, straight.
Do you
How
offer
do you do it though? Because I feel like your hand vibrating that whole time. Like,
Well, the tattoo machines nowadays are a lot more you know, advanced. They're pretty lightweight, quiet. They don't really vibrate that much. There's some that still do, but I don't use those ones a whole lot. I have some of them, but I don't use them a whole lot. But it does take a toll. That's why when I first started, I would do like 10-hour days sometimes, and like your back hurts. Like I remember one session I did, it was like an 8-hour session or 10 hour, I don't remember, but like I had a very bad stool like that I sat on for tattooing, like a chair or whatever. And I just felt like I had just played a football game or I got in a car accident or something, or my body hurt. So the next day I went on the tattoo supply website and bought the most expensive chair I could find. And it's been a great investment because it does help my body. But even still, crunching over, depending on where you're tattooing, like if you're tattooing a back or something like where you got to be hunched over a lot, like, yeah, it takes a toll on your body. And I'm probably going to have a hunchback when I'm older. For sure.
you got to get hooked up with Nelly, right, Marty? I heard she can really help with necks and backs.
Yeah,
She's a chiropractor.
no, she's a massage therapist, and I go to her once a month, and I'm not joking, man. She's amazing.
But she does like therapeutic like trigger point like deep tissue
Mhm.
type stuff, right? It's not just like, oh, kind of make you feel good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, it's painful. Well,
Yeah.
like I do an hour and a half massage with her, and I'm like, there's moments where I'm like, Nelly,
Mhm.
taking it too far.
Nah. Yeah,
Because
I need to start investing in that for sure.
yeah, it's good, man. It's helped me a lot. I didn't realize for the last 5 years I had a lot of back and neck issues, and a lot of it was just that I wasn't like taking care of my body in that way. And so I go to her, and then she was always giving me like stretches and like stuff to work on between visits with her,
Mhm.
and it's helped me out. Like this right now, I feel the best that I felt in probably 5 years. Straight.
Mhm. Yeah, because I was working two jobs most of the time. Like I really like neglected that. But now since I'm about to just be full time tattooing, like I'm gonna start doing more stuff and get massages regularly because I got little kids and I need to be able to be active. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk to Nelly, man. She's worth every penny.
For sure.
No joke. No joke.
We also like to get your suggestion or a call out, so to speak, on who you would want to join one of these in the future. So you got to pick on somebody.
Who would I like to hear from? Who would probably be a great interview would be Corey Blackman. Like one, he has a great personality. He's one of my closest friends. I would call him family, but he's also kind of lived like a pretty cool life. Like he was in the Navy. He moved around a lot. He lives in Vegas, and actually he did live in Vegas, and he was like a VIP manager for one of the biggest clubs out there, and like met all these celebrities and things like that. But now he just got a job with Microsoft, and he's moving to Seattle. But he has two sons who are really, really, really smart. His son is like, I want to say one of his sons is like 4 and like a math genius and stuff. But I think it would be a great interview. Corey Blackman would probably be a great interview for you.
Go get him.
Mm-hmm.
Corey play football with us? He didn't play football, did he?
He played 1 year and he was on JV as a junior. Don't tell him I told you that, but yeah, I think he played 1 year. I don't think it was his thing. He played JV as a junior. I think he played JV as a junior. I'm pretty sure because I remember going to the JV game and standing in the sideline in street clothes, talking to him while he was suited up. But yeah, I think he only played 1 year. I don't even know if he finished the whole year, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That's crazy because he looks like an athlete. You think he would have.
Yeah, I wonder. I always wonder about it. How come he didn't play? I gotta ask him that.
He could have played tight end or linebacker or something like that.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's like 6. He's at least like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Corey Blackman that we're gonna go after. Anybody else you can think of?
Only people from our year, right?
It can be any.
We had
Mario
him on here. He wasn't from our year, but we had him on here already.
Who?
Aaron.
Oh, you had Aaron? Oh, okay. Mario Kimball would be a good one. Who else? Mario Kimball. Tony Payton.
Tony. Yeah.
He would be hard though, because he lives in Norway now. So you'd have to schedule his time. But he has a very interesting story too, about what he's doing in life. But he lives in Norway. He's been out there for about 10, I want to say more than that, probably about 13 years. But it's pretty funny because when he was living in America, he was like sleeping on people's couches. And then he met a girl on MySpace from Norway, moved to Norway, had kids with her. And he's not with that girl anymore, but he's married to another girl and has kids too. But pretty interesting story. He would be a great interview too.
What's he do for work?
I think he works for the airline out there. But Norway is so like their government is so different. Like
you went out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I went out there. I think 2 or 3 years. No, before I was married. No, it was probably like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But yeah, it's so different because like he was on disability for like 2 years and just chilling. You know what I mean? So like Norway, you can do that type of stuff, but you can't do that here.
Is he a citizen there?
Yeah, he has dual citizenship.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. What a trip. Met a girl on MySpace.
We met her on MySpace, yeah, and then moved to Norway. Crazy. And it's funny because like Tony was usually the butt of everybody's joke. Like he was just that guy. And he liked it. He kind of thrived in that role. He was like Cole from Martin, you know what I mean? Like not very bright or whatever. But and so like in America, he was like the bottom of the bucket. But like Americans in Norway are like, if you're black and you're American in Norway, like they love you. So like he was out there, like, bro, I no lie, I was out there and I was just like, we were at a bus stop or something talking, and I guess somebody just like heard my accent or something. They're like, "You're from America?" Like with their eyes all bright. Oh, I love America. Where? California? Oh, California. Like it's crazy. So like he was out there just living his best life. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah. All right. Cool. We'll have to track him down. That'll be tough because of the time zone issue.
yeah. I have to hit him up because I don't even think he has. He doesn't even have social media, to be honest. But I asked him. I'll probably talk to him in a couple of days.
I thought he had social media for a little bit because I used to see him post pictures of his family.
He did, but he got rid of it. He just wanted to focus more on his family. I mean, he has 2 toddler boys and then 2 like almost preteen girls. So you know, he just felt it was like a distraction and got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like every day I think social media is a distraction. I don't want to get rid of it.
Me too, man. But I like that's my main source of business. You know what I mean? Where I get all my business from. But I kind of wish I could go rogue for a little while and just cut it off.
Yeah. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. All right, guys. I think that's a pretty good episode so far.
Yeah.
Any other topics we should try to make sure we cover? What's your deepest, darkest secret, listener?
If I told you, it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
Tell us something about you that your wife doesn't know.
Something about me that my wife doesn't know. I'm pretty open with my wife.
It was just a joke based on Marty's question.
Oh, yeah. Hmm?
No, go ahead. I didn't have anything else. I was talking.
Cool. All right, then we're gonna go after Corey Blackman and Tony Payton for the next episode. Clister, love you, man. Thank you for doing this.
All right, love you too, man. Appreciate you guys. No problem.
All right, take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, bye, you guys.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.